You know, guys, I haven't worked in an office since 1992, and that has certainly afforded me some great opportunities along the years because have computer, will travel. I have been able to work all around the world, taking my family with me, but the trade-off is that this is the type of job where I work 363 days a year, and during the football and basketball season, easily 90 to 100 hours a week. But then again, I get to travel nonstop because of the job. Then again, the downside is also that there is no separation between my office and the bedroom, which is only a 6-foot jaunt across the hallway here on the second floor. And those lines get blurred quite frequently because at 3, 4, 5 in the morning, the office is usually the bedroom. And at 9 o'clock at night, yeah, when you got work to do, you find yourself in the office more often than any other room in the entire damn house. But that's the way it goes. But the good thing is I can work from anywhere. And that's why I'm questioning my sanity today as I sit here and talk to you with a head cold, with a sore throat, when it's 21 degrees here in Philadelphia, when I could be working in Tampa where it's a nice balmy 73 degrees, why I could be working out in Phoenix where it's nice and 71 degrees, where I could be at my other home in Las Vegas where it's a nice 61 degrees. But no, I'm in Philadelphia where it's 20 degrees. And it's cold, and it's blustery, and it's going to get worse. Well, I guess it could be worse. I could be in Erie, Pennsylvania, where they have 413 inches of snow in the last 24 hours. But hey, it's the holidays. You got to be around family, and you got to be here where your house is and where your family lives. Now, of course, if my family had relocated to Las Vegas, that would be bad because I'd probably have to make like an appointment to see him for Christmas Eve dinner at some buffet at a casino. Probably to exchange gifts. I'd have to make an appointment to see my mother, my wife, my sister, my brother-in-law, my nephew, in between slot tournaments at some casino, just to exchange gifts. That's the way they roll in my family. But hey, what can I say? That's another story for another day. Now, when it comes to these bowl games, yes, I mocked some of these teams for accepting bids at some of these ridiculous games. But listen, you know, my best bet today is on something called the Camping World Bowl with Oklahoma State taking on Virginia Tech. But the Camping World Bowl, hey, at least it's in Orlando. Can't blame them for going there. Beats that game you saw in Boston College playing Iowa yesterday on the frozen tundra known as Yankee Stadium, the Pinstripe Bowl, right? Listen, you want to find bowl winners? Turn to the two hottest guys. One being, of course, Tommy Brunson, who won yet again yesterday. Brunson, who was coming off the back-to-back 150-dime NFL winners, in which he is a perfect 8-0 since joining the site in September, scoring with the Saints on Sunday and then the Steelers on Monday. Then cashed in with back-to-back 100-dime bowl winners the past 2 days, Utah hammering West Virginia on Tuesday, and then that was a 75-dime college football winner, number 12 out of 14 with Utah over West Virginia on Tuesday, and then up the ante with last night's 100-dime winner, number 8 out of 11, Purdue taking care of business over Arizona. Well, today, 100-dime major wager winner number 8 out of 12, Michigan State and Washington State. It kicks off at 9 o'clock Eastern time, and just like the previous 3 days winners, you get it for over half price off, and simply by using coupon code LATE, L-A-T-E. FYI, Tommy, who's going for winning day number 5 in a row, has made $10 bettors $12,465 over the past 52 days. The other featured play today, Brad Wilton, biggest college football play of his career, up the ante, 150-dime winner, number 33 out of 47. On that same Camping World Bowl game, it goes at 5:15 Eastern time. Oklahoma State taking on Virginia Tech. He is a perfect 3 for 3 with 150-dime plays since making his return to the site about a month and a half ago. The first one and the only one thus far in college football happened to be Clemson hammering Miami of Florida in the ACC championship game. Then he followed with Xavier over Colorado and Virginia over Davidson in college basketball. This is just his third college football 150-dimer since December 3rd of last year. You get it for over half price off by using the first name, Brad. That's your discount code. All your other discounts, etc., are over on the home page. Let's get to some complimentary plays here for today's card. Let's take a look at the Alamo Bowl. Stanford is a 3-point underdog against TCU. Last time we saw TCU, of course, they were getting blown out in the Big 12 championship game against Oklahoma. David Shaw, the Stanford head coach, 4-1 career-wise in bowl games. The key metric in this game, TCU, allowing just 99.8 yards rushing per game. Can they stop Bryce Love? Now, Bryce Love played the entire second half of the season with a lingering high ankle sprain. But Stanford, last seen in a 3-point loss to USC, has obviously had 3.5, almost 4 weeks for Love to recuperate. He comes into this game averaging 8.3 yards per carry on the season. Needs just 27 yards to go over 2,000 yards on the year. And the Cardinals, look good in that 31-28 loss to USC because KJ Costello, the young quarterback for them, hit a couple of long passes to put them in a position to nearly pull off the upset. But here's the thing with KJ Costello. This is going to be only his 3rd road start. I know it's a neutral site game, but still, only his 3rd road start here in San Antonio tonight in the Alamo Bowl. In his first 2 road starts, one was against Washington State. Didn't perform well in that game, 9 for 20, 105 yards, 1 interception. The next one against USC, 10 for 22, 192 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So, in 3 home starts this season, he was like gangbusters. 64% completions, 927 yards, 9 touchdowns, 1 interception. Did not perform well in the 2 road starts. Stanford comes in here having won 8 out of 9 games, though lone loss coming against Washington State. TCU, of course, coming off the 41-17 loss to Oklahoma in the Big 12 title game. They also lost to Oklahoma 38-20 in Norman. Beat Texas Tech at home. Baylor and Texas lost at Iowa State, part of a 3-3 finish down the home stretch. It's a fairly priced game at 3 points, Stanford being the underdog. I'll tell you what, guys, I just like Stanford in this contest. I think Costello will make enough big plays, but I just think that Bryce Love, will be able to crack enough gainers in this contest. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think that Stanford defense, which is very opportunistic, will come up with a couple of turnovers. I'm not a big fan of Kenny Hill, the TCU quarterback, so I'm willing to take the points with Stanford. If the line is 3, or 2.5, anywhere between 2.5 and 4, I'm obviously buying up the half point. Again, that Stanford secondary, 16 interceptions this season. The Stanford defense overall, 25 turnovers, and Hill is not exactly careful with the ball on the season. So I'm going to go with Stanford plus the points in that game tonight. But can't say I'm in love with the game, to be quite honest with you. Here's an obscure college basketball play for you. Last night hit my best bet in college basketball, making it 6 straight college basketball winners, 5 straight top-rated 15-dime releases, as I scored with Villanova in a road route of DePaul. And here on the video report, I warned you about how I thought that game with Xavier -4 at Marquette was a trap game. And what happens? Marquette loses by 4, so it was generally a push just about everywhere. Here's an obscure game, but I think it's a good play. Northern Kentucky minus the points at home against Indiana University of Purdue. Now, quick, just in case you happen to be on Jeopardy next week, what is Northern Kentucky's nickname? The Norse. N-O-R-S-E, not the horse, the Norse. Quick, what league does Northern Kentucky play in? Come on, this one's a lot easier. The Horizon League. This is going to be the debut for Indiana University of Purdue in the Horizon League, as they are leaving the Summit League last year to join the Horizon League. Quick, what's Indiana Purdue's nickname? If you know any of these, God bless you all. The Jaguars. The Norse are 7-5, coming off 2 straight losses, although they acquitted themselves quite well in their last one, a road loss in College Station to Texas A&M, 64-58 back on December 19th. This is a good shooting team, a high-octane offensive team. They average almost 81 points a game. They hit almost 49% of their shots. They allow 66 points a game on 41% shooting. Meanwhile, Indiana Purdue, they improved to 3-8 on the season by beating a NAIA team, University of Indiana Kokomo, and I guarantee you Nobody knew that Indiana University of Kokomo had an NAIA team, and I assure you, you didn't know their nickname was the Cougars, and this is trivia information you probably will never need again in your life, but there you know it anyway. They had lost their previous games by 30 to Gonzaga, 13 at Washington State, 25 to Purdue, by 1 at Southern Illinois, by 19 at Ball State, by 13 to Western Illinois. This is not a good team. That's why they're 3-8 on the season. This is why they failed to cover 5 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, Northern Kentucky on a 13-3-1 ATS roll in their last 17 at home. Look at the RPI standings. Northern Kentucky 138, not great until you compare that Indiana Purdue 294, 138, 294. Yeah. That's good. KenPom.com, Northern Kentucky, 79. Indiana Purdue, 276. You got a team that's 0-7 on the road straight up against a team that's 3-0 at home. Here's something else for you. Adjusted offensive efficiency. That means how many points you score per 100 possessions according to KenPom.com. Northern Kentucky averages 5.9 points per game more, but adjusted defensive statistics, that same per 100 possessions, Northern Kentucky allows 11.8 points fewer. Do the math, that's a 17.7 point differential. When you look at the point spread, that automatically gives me even more evidence to support Northern Kentucky. So, Northern Kentucky minus the points, your college basketball freebie, and Stanford plus the points, your college bowl selection, and that'll do it for this Thursday card. A lot of college bowl action on Friday. I'll be back here very early in the morning. I'll talk to you then.